correspondence. Notice from Russ Braun for sewage permit applications closed out during 2022. Thank you from Elkland Search and Rescue for our donation. And permit applications from Penn Hills Resources, Howe Township, and Scorpio Energy Incorporated for Howe Township. So you got anything for fire department?
The only thing that I got is, officer, everything has changed down there. I'm no longer, as everybody knows, I'm starting to get burned out of that place. Leo Geibel now is the new chief. I'm the deputy, Misty's still the assistant. Amy Beers is, kind of treasurer and the secretary. That is now Heather Crawford. And, truck captains of 813 is Justin Crawford, Marcel Fergus, and the tanker is Justin Crawford.
Could you see if they could get us a sheet of member rosters, up-to-date sheet?
Yeah, I'll be down there tonight. We're being, fitted with new gear tonight. And stuff that the Scott and them coming out.
Did you ever get the?
Last year's final reports from Amy, I haven't got those yet.
Yeah, you would have to talk to Amy and Heather because everything is changing hands right now. I have nothing to do with that. And everything's going good. We had a couple calls. Exit a car wreck and trees down and shut the road down, and that was it. Everything's been pretty quiet lately.
Yeah. For the road department, you want to discuss what we need to do with Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we can.
Got a little bit of cold patch out there, but it'll be enough to fix what we got. I'll look into pricing. Even if you mill out the bad sections, fix them, they can tar and chip. How often was that tar and chip?
We did it 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago.
I'd like to make a note that Walter Chester resigned 1/27/23. He wanted to take a early retirement. And we have a record, his letter here, anybody wanna read it? So, we have no old business?
Not at the moment.
Can I ask a question? Okay, you didn't ask for direct. I know that you appointed Allison for direct for the township, but there is direct that I run with my 501c3, which is 2 separate ones.
Well, our solicitor contacted us and he informed us that you are not associated with the township. You are your own.
My own
Your own
entity, but yet
entity,
I
so-
have papers that the supervisor signed a long time ago saying that I have complete cooperation throughout the township, and the stuff that's on here belongs to the recreation, the 501c3. So what are your plans so I can talk to my lawyer? Cause what we were doing, the shed was given to the recreation, and we built the pavilion, and everything in the, is the recreation, except some stuff personally that is mine that I didn't want to have to fundraise for, I had it and I just brought it up there. And we have our events up here, and we have a whole list of things we do every year.
I think we should speak to our solicitor before we move forward
I
with that.
agree.
Yeah, I think we'll speak to our solicitor before we move forward with that, Marcia.
Well, are you
On
gonna try
what,
to take my stuff, or?
We're not taking anything from anybody, that's your
The
or
pavilion
your
and the shed is,
organization's things.
and the shed
The
is
shed
too,
was
and
purchased
everything.
by the township, the
For the-
pavilion was gotten by grants and
The
the
what?
township,
What?
the pavilion. We have all the paperwork for
We
all
built
of
the
it.
pavilion, I raised all the money through grants and everything through the recreation, not the township. Township did not
We
get
have all the
grants.
paperwork
Yeah,
in
so
there
do I.
for it, so.
And the recreation, Jim Wolf gave it to the recreation, cause I was storing stuff here and he said, we'll just get you a shed. And all that stuff's there. And I don't do this for fun of it, I do it to help people. And I resent that you guys are trying to,
We're not trying to do anything, we're just.
I was gonna learn my lesson, you said to me, thank you. And all I wanna know, we plan on still having our car show and our events?
We have to
and
discuss that
everything?
with our lawyer.
Okay, when are you gonna do that? Cause I have an appointment with one already too.
I can email him tomorrow and see when he can discuss it with us. I'll email him first thing in the morning.
So you plan on trying to stop me from having events or, I mean,
No, Martha, your organization is your organization
Your
and what you
corporation.
choose to do
It's up to you.
is what you choose to do.
and the pavilion we use and the shed and the stuff in the shed. So are you gonna try to change any of that?
Talk to the solicitor.
Yeah, because technically you're not affiliated with the township. So
Not really.
if you, yeah, so those are the things that we have to talk to him about and the legality of that stuff. You're your own organization, so I'm not sure how that stuff works. I honestly don't. I can't answer that. So I think it's best we talk to him before I try to answer any of that.
Okay, but the pavilion, I got the grants, the recreation got the grants, not the township, and we built it. The shed, township did purchase it, we did give it to the recreation. And it should be in the minutes.
Email him first thing.
New business, discuss and approve advertising recreation committee ordinance.
I think we'll wait until, I think we should table that until we get some more answers from our solicitor.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
I just don't think we're very good.
Since Cork's resignation, we decided, to hire Darren Brown full-time at the rate of $17 an hour. This was tomorrow.
No, the 14th. That's for the three mile cross pipe?
So we have a meeting with the Conservation District on February 14th at 9 AM to discuss replacing the cross pipe at 3 Mile on Sackett Road. That's it. Need a motion to review the bills, make a motion to accept the bills as paid.
I'll make a motion, we review the bills, and I'll make a motion, we accept the bills as paid.
I'll second that.
Unless you don't want to.
Yeah, sure. And I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second. Wait a minute, Paul.
Sure you sign it, no.
I'll have to sign the top now.
so easy. You're good. Just for anyone who doesn't know, the checks that we do, there's always a list back there for each month. The month's on there, the balance of each accounts are back there on the clipboard for anybody who ever wants to see it. Oh, this one's us. The fire hall's blue.
No, I mean, I see.
Terry, can I have a copy of what you think that the township did a grant for that?
Yeah, I'll dig through get the information out tomorrow and make a copy of it for you.
That's fine.
Yeah, make it afternoon. I have the auditors here and stuff in the morning, so I've been pretty busy, so if you can make it afternoon, that would be better. Give me time to get it around for you, please.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll send it out, bills.
Good, what, thank you. I can put it back to pay the bills, pay the bills.
Oh, that'd be too much of a hassle.
Yeah, we gotta do something with Pennsylvania. I think we should go with our PennDOT route. It's breaking out terrible. Do you know anything about that, Bob, when, it got paved last time? Was there an issue with that?
Yeah, they didn't seal it, and we tried to tell them, and they refused to seal it, so it went a whole year without being sealed. And I talked to Randy and Darren after that. They said we're lucky it isn't worse than it is.
Right.
So they eventually went, when they found out it was breaking up the next spring, they went and tarred and chipped it.
Right.
Which, that you can seal it with that, but usually that's older roads.
Yeah, you can.
There was better options when it was new, and they refused to listen, so.
Right. Yeah, I think we're gonna have Randy and Darren come up to see what. our
Yeah, that's
best
what I would
option
do.
is.
And originally it got messed up because they had them come up and they did a run with the roadmaster at the time and stuff. And he told them, well, we should probably mill some of this out. And they said, oh, we don't have money. We don't want to mill that out. Well, it turned out, so we got all these bids in, and then all of a sudden there's like, oh, we got to mill it. So they had to change everything. So everything got messed up, and then the price went up because now you're figuring in stuff that wasn't figured at first. And so they're like, well, we can't afford to seal it. And so, you know what we were told? This is new stuff. We don't need to seal it. And we're like, no, I've been to a lot of these. I've taken some of those classes. I said, I'm telling you, this has to be sealed. And they wouldn't listen. So that's why, otherwise it wouldn't be near as bad as it is right now. Yeah. And it's tough because that's a long stretch too. That was expensive even to tar and chip it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we even bought different oil last time that had that silicone in it last time we chipped it. and it was supposed to have a longer life on it, and I really don't think it made a difference.
Well, I think some of it didn't get milled where it should have been, cause there's holes that start right away in the same spot all the time, so I think,
Yeah, it was
That one spot I
coal
got
patched.
milled.
yes,
and
yeah, they
went
filled it with
over
coal
it
patch,
and
yep, yep.
the coal patch breaks loose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a high traffic area that it's tough, and then, you know, between plowing and the traffic, it's tough to, once you get stuff like that, even the coal patch is gonna, yeah, you can't keep it like that.
Yeah.
You guys doing anything with, Virginia Avenue? Right there by Starlight X? That thing is getting bad.
Yeah.
Same way right there at the intersection, there's a massive hole there.
As I said, we ain't got much coal patch out there, but I know we can get more, but what do you spend coal patch at the end of last year? Couple thousand?
Have you talked to any of those municipalities been using that unique stuff that was fairly new there a few years ago? I know Jones was starting to use it a little bit, but I don't know how it was holding up. I haven't talked to anybody since then.
Wasn't that the stuff that Dave was telling us about, that they were
Yeah,
using?
they brought the machine in and
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
on site, and
How's is it holding up?
none of them like it.
Okay.
It doesn't, it's not binding in like
Okay.
they told them it would.
Yeah, it was new, and we went to all these things, and you know, they were telling how good it was and this and that. But I know Jones was getting, but they got way more money than we do to.
Yeah, you
To
have
try
to have
stuff like that.
At least what was it, a minimum of 100 tons.
Yeah.
To mix.
Yeah.
And they invited me. I think Tom was still here. 'Cause that was
Yeah.
right before we did Sackett. And Tom and I went down and looked at it, and then they took us out and showed us where they used it, and it was pushing out and
Alright.
pulling up, and
Yeah.
it's
Maybe they got it figured out by now.
I was gonna say they had a good sales pitch at the time. I can tell you that. You know, the way they were talking.
that cold patch that we've been getting. We get it up by Shingle House. It's the stuff that you guys are using, Tim and Kane.
Right.
And it's a lot better. Their summer mix ain't as good as their winter mix. The winter mix is what we have now, but it's
Yeah, even that. How much is that a ton?
150?
150. And hot patch last year was 87
Oh,
I'd have to
a
look.
ton,
I
I
can't
think.
remember.
But it's preparing it, getting the truck here, still keeping it hot, getting it, and we don't have a double drum roller. You know, it's
yeah.
That's what I said to him, until we get the fee schedule come here March, April, they
Yeah.
don't send it out till then, we don't even know what we can do.
Right.
Yeah, when we got it last year, within a month, the price almost tripled
Oh, yeah, yeah.
because of the price of oil and gas.
Everything. Yeah.
It's like I said, we can go get it ourselves and try to do it, but it's a little worse than concrete, you know, you only have a short time to work
Yeah.
with it and
Yep.
try to dig a hole out here and expect somebody not to drive through a
Yeah.
1.5 foot deep crater without bitching and, you know, to get it fixed.
Yeah. That's the problem. We only got one road in and out of town, really. So. Yeah. Maybe we should see if there's any options for that. Get a second road. Something.
Dirt.
Well, I tell you what, the way everything is.
Oh, through the factory yard then. That
We were talking with the Forest Service last year because we maintain up into Windy City,
Right.
and they're very interested in swapping us that section of Windy City for that section of Mosier, and so they were supposed to send everything out west to get it approved, and we were gonna maintenance some road for them for extra money, and we haven't heard back from that yet, but we gotta get with Rob because he wants to talk about the closure of the four-wheeler, or the Snowmobile Trail and their process on that. They got it closed now and using some of our road for that trail. There's
Oh, yeah.
some people bought some property and there's a discrepancy with them and
I don't
Forest
understand how
Service.
ARD can be selling property and going bankrupt. And they left a mess here, how can they be selling all this property off? I don't understand that.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
No, they said
I don't
they,
think it's right, I didn't think you'd be able to sell property when you're bankrupt.
yeah, well, Rob said their lawyers are looking into all that too.
Okay.
We've been keeping an eye out for them also because there's still people helping themselves out there.
All over the ARG.
Yeah,
Oh, I imagine.
and,
Yeah.
That's the thing, they left a mess, we have to deal with people stealing and.
but it was all left to it's abandoned now, so it's, the state took it, so it's all state property now, so it's,
They can watch it.
yeah, but.
And
yeah.
how are they selling the property off if the state acquired it?
Yeah, that's,
And that's,
I don't understand that. I'm sure they're federal, so they'll get to the bottom of it. They'll get to the bottom of
yeah.
how they can legally sell it.
Hmm.
I'm sure.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, we're gonna hopefully adopt that section of road. I'm sure they'll gate that lower section of Windy eventually if they, when we do make the swap. We would still have to put it through with the liquid fuels, and.
Oh, yeah, you'll have to count it in once it's ours.
Yeah.
We'll get more money to just
Little bit.
maintain
Is that part that goes from, Windy City to JoJo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good.
Then we have another route out.
Because I've been trying to get that for years,
Mm-hmm.
keep that maintained.
Well, it helped a little bit because they wouldn't give, Olson a 911 address. So they said that he's not really Kane, but he's not really Highland.
Yeah,
And they wanna go by the closest fire department, so they said, no, yours is Highland, and he wants to know how he has an address for Highland if he lives in Kane. So it's all messed up.
and it's the same way with people in Highland have Kane address.
Yeah. But,
We have a Kane address, phase
Yeah, and
one.
you're in,
We live in Elk County, we have a Kane address, and we have a Sheffield phone number.
but Rob was telling me from the Forest Service that, the roads were maintenance by the township years ago, and he doesn't know what the problem was. They just quit doing it, they didn't notify him, they just walked away, and apparently they didn't need the money anymore, and
Well, there's stories to that, but we won't talk about that.
yeah, you kinda remember some of it.
Oh, I remember a lot of it, so.
Yeah, it's a lot, it's, the dirt roads are falling apart as bad as
Yeah,
the blacktop.
yeah.
The Ohio, the extension up there on Ohio is gotta be the worst one by far yet. But they're slowly catching up to each other, and it's gonna be. We
Yeah.
talked about that loan, or that grant from PennDOT,
Mm-hmm.
but the trouble with that is you can get $500,000 to do it. You gotta put that up, and then they'll pay as you go, so we'd almost be bankrupt to
Just to get the,
waiting on getting
Yeah.
our payment back.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
My grandsons are wrestling, so I'm gonna get going.